Hello, in this video I'm going to be going over how to make a system where you can go over and pick up your enemy's body. You'll start to play an animation. And once you've picked up your enemy's body, you'll be able to move around with it. And then you'll be able to place it down if you want. So I remember a while back someone requested that I make a video on this, and now that I've made the system inside of my game, I'm going to be going over what I did exactly in order to make this system. This system can be done without animations, although I use Ramster Z's stealth animations in this video in order to make this system. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is code all the blueprints for this system, and then we'll go over how to implement the animations. So to get started, I'm just going to head over to my third person folder and go to the blueprints folder. And the first thing we're going to do is create a new blueprint interface, which we're going to use for our character that we're going to pick up. So to create that, just right click, look for blueprints and select blueprint interface. And in my game, I just called this my enemy interface, as I put this interface in all of my enemy characters. Then you just want to double click and head inside here. And we want to create two new functions. So the first one you want to call event body picked up. So we'll call this event when we are picking up our character's body. And then we want to create a new function, and we'll just call this event body dropped, and we'll call this event when we drop the enemy's body. So I'll just click compile to say that, and then we're going to create our enemy character. So I'm just going to right click and select blueprint class, select character, and I'll just call this my enemy character. We can double click and head inside here, and in the mesh I'm just going to select the SK mannequin, and we just want to drag him down and rotate him 90 degrees so that they are facing forward. Okay, once we have that, we just want to go to where it says class settings, and we want to go add, and we just want to add the enemy interface that we just made, and then we want to click compile. And then it's important that we make this have some collision settings. So these are just the collision settings that I use in the game. So for the collision, you just want to go to collision presets and just change this to be custom. And you want to make it so that it overlaps spawn and blocks the camera and visibility. Once you've done these settings, we're going to head over to the event graph. And then you just want to right click and look for event body picked up. So we're going to be referencing the interface that we just added. So event body picked up. The first thing we're going to do is make it so that this enemy doesn't collide with anything. So we'll drag in his capsule component and just drag off here and look for set collision enabled, and we just want to leave this at no collision. This will just make it so that this can't collide with anything in the game. Then we want to drag off here and look for play animation montage, and we're just going to play the animation of the character being picked up. So first I'm going to create this animation montage. So I'm just going to go to the stealth finishers and go to the animation and look for carry, and we just want to create an anim montage for the paired stealth carry start victim. So right click and create anim montage, and we also want to create one for when the body is being put back down. So I'll right click on this one, create anim montage. Then we can head back to the enemy character, and in the anim montage I'm just going to select this start one, and then after here you just want to drag off and have a delay, and then we're going to create a new variable. So we just go to the variables tab, and we'll call this is picked up ? And just set it. So we'll come back to this later. So this will just let the game know that the character has been picked up once this animation has finished playing. Then we want to right click and look for event body dropped, and event body dropped, we're going to drag off here and look for play anim montage, and this time we'll select the end one, and then we'll drag off here and have a delay. And then after this delay, we'll set it so his collision is back to normal. So I'll just copy this, paste it here, and change the collision type to collision enabled. And then we'll just drag in this is picked up and set it and leave this blank so the game knows that the character is not picked up. And then one more thing, you just want to go to the enemy character itself, and in the details tab, I just look for tag, and then I just add this array element. And for the time being, I have this tag called KO, which I put here. And then you just want to compile. So now we're going to set it up so that this third person character can pick up this enemy character. So we can just head inside this blueprint, and you'll want to go to the event graph and just find some space. So I'm going to go here, underneath here, and I'm just going to right click and make it so when I press the 1 key, it's going to execute this and pick up a character if it's in front of me. So you can just make this any key, but for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm just going to use this 1 key. And the first thing we're going to do is just drag off and look for sphere, trace, for objects. Where this trace will start, you just want to right click and get your actor's location and plug this into the start. Where this will end, you just want to right click and look for get actor rotation. And from here, you want to drag off and look for get forward vector. And then you just want to drag off here and look for multiply vector by float 100. So what we'll be doing is we'll be getting 100 units in front of the player, and then we'll just add this to their starting location. So we look for vector plus vector and plug this into here and connect this into end. So we'll be looking 100 units in front of our player, and we want the radius of this sphere trace to be around 30. And for the object type, you want to drag up here and look for make array and select pawn. So in our enemy character, in his collision, I think I set it so it's pawn. So you want to make sure that the object type is pawn. And you want to turn the draw debug to full duration. So if I just compile this and close and click play, I press the 1 button, it'll do this sphere trace, and that seems to be working. So just make sure that that's working. So once we've done that, we're going to check to see if we hit anything. So we'll just drag off this R hit result, and we're going to look for break hit result, and just click this little arrow icon, and then we want to check that we hit an actor. So just drag off here and look for is valid, and connect this into here. Then we're going to check to see that our hit actor has this KO tag. So I make it so that the actors I want to be able to pick up in my game have this KO tag. So we're just going to drag off here and look for actor has tag name being KO, and then I'll just drag off here and look for branch and make sure that I'm hitting an actor and that it has this tag called KO. If it does, then I just drag off here and promote this to a variable, and I'll call this KO'd actor, and just connect this all the way into true. So if all these conditions are true, we're now going to make it so that my player would begin to pick up the character. So the first thing I do in the system is right click, and we're going to look for get player controller, and we just want to drag off here and look for disable input so that the player can't move. So you just want to break it from target and plug this into player controller. Not sure why it does that. And then we want to drag off this KO'd actor, and then drag up here and look for event body picked up. So this will just reference this event that we made. So we just plug this into here. And then what we're going to do for our character is play the animation montage of him picking up the character. So we'll just drag up here, look for play anim montage. So let's just create anim montages of the player character picking up the body. So I'm going to head to the animations folder, look for carry, and we have paired carry body end. So I'll just right click and create an anim montage for this, and I also create an anim montage for this one. So create and create anim montage. Okay, and now I can head back to my blueprints and do my third person character, and we'll just go here and we want to look for the attacker one. So we want to look for paired, the start one. So I'll just select this. Next, we want to drag off here and look for move component to. And what we're going to set up next is we're going to make it so that our third person character moves to the exact position and to the correct position in order to pick up our enemy character and make it look correct. You'll be able to tweak and edit this later if you need to adjust it. So what we're going to do is drag in the capital component, as this is the component we're going to be moving. And we just want to drag it to here and plug it into component. Where we want to move this to, we want to move its location and also its rotation so it's facing the correct direction. In order to get those values, we first want to drag in our KO'd actor, and we just want to get its rotation. So look for get actor rotation, and we can just plug this into rotation. So next we're gonna calculate the location, and you'll be able to adjust this value if you need to in order to make it sync up and be perfect. So in order to do that, you just want to drag in the KO'd actor, get KO'd actor, and the first thing I'm going to do is get the actor's forward vector, and then drag off here and look for multiply vector by float, and I found a value of 90 works. I'll explain what this means in a second, as it's a bit hard to explain now. And then you want to just drag off here, you want to drag here and look for get actor location, and then you just want to drag off here and look for minus vector, and just make sure this one is plugged on top and this one is plugged in at the bottom. So I'll just move that so it's a bit clearer. And then you want to drag up here and look for get actor right vector, and then we're going to drag up here and look for multiply vector, and you just want to leave this at 0, and then you want to do this minus vector and plug this into here, and then you want to connect this into location. So what these will do, this will just determine how to the right or left of the actor this is going to be, and this will determine how forward or behind this will be. You'll see an example of what I mean when this system is finished. After that is done, you want to create a new variable and just call it is carrying enemy, and just drag this in here, plug this into here, and check it so it's completed. And then you want to drag up here and have a delay and connect the animation length. So after this animation has finished playing, we are then going to look for attach actor to component, and we're going to be attaching our KO'd actor to our character. So you just want to drag in this mesh and plug this into here. And for location, you just want to make it keep world. Rotation, you want to keep world, and scale, you want to keep world. And then once it's done all this, we can re-enable our player's input. So just copy this bit, Control C, then paste with Control V. Sorry, we can delete this, and then you drag in here and click enable input so that our character can move again. And you just want to break this and make sure it's connected to player controller. Then we want to drag in our character's movement and set max walk speed. So now our character will be carrying the body, so it'll be a bit slow. So you just want to make this a value of like 100, which I found works well. And then plug this into here. And then you just want to comment all of this. And I'll call this pick up knocked out enemy. So now we're going to make a system where we can drop the enemy if we're holding it in case we want to stop holding them. So to do that, just go a bit below here, right click, and I'm going to press the 2 button. And first we want to check to see that we are carrying an enemy. So just get is carrying an enemy, drag off here and look for branch. And if this is true, then we're going to lower our enemy. So I'm just going to go over here and we just want to copy this disable input bit. So I'll just copy this and paste it here because we don't want it so that the player can move whilst this is happening. So after we've done this, we want to just set is carrying enemy to be false, as we won't be carrying the enemy anymore. And then we'll drag off here and look for play anim montage. And we want to select the player dropping the victim. So this one. And then we're going to drag in our arcade actor, drag off here and look for dropped. So event body dropped. And this will just call the event we made earlier in the enemy. And then we'll drag off here and have a delay. And just connect this here. And after this delay, we'll just drag in our arcade actor. And we just want to look for detach from actor. And we want to keep world, keep world, keep world. Then connect this into here. And then we can just copy this bit and paste it here. And I'll put it so that my character goes back to the normal speed of 600. I'm then just going to press C to comment this all, and I will call this drop enemy body, and just click compile. So finally, we're just going to set up the animations so everything works nice and smoothly. So you just want to head over to the animation, and for this system, if I just look for carry, it has walking forward with the dead body and also being idle with the dead body. So we're just going to create a blend space with that. So you just want to right click and look for animation and look for blend space 1D, select the for mannequin, and I'll call this carrying dead body. We'll head inside here and we just want to look for the carry idle animation. So carry idle attacker, and you just place this at 0, and then we'll look for carry forward attacker. So I'll just drag this down. So when this is at 0 and we're carrying the body, will be like this. If we're moving and we're carrying the body, we'll walk forward slowly. So we're going to do create another blend space for the victim. So just right click, animation, blend space 1D, E4 mannequin, and we'll select, we'll call this victim dead body. Just do this, and then we want to select that blend space and look for carry idle victim and just places at 0. Then we'll look for carry forward victim and just place this at 100. So when the body is being held and we're not moving, it'll be like this. If we are moving, it'll move like this. So now we just need to set this up all in the animation blueprint. So I'm gonna head over to my mannequin. So you're gonna head over to the mannequin and go to animations and third person animation blueprint. And then just go and select default and animation graph. And the first thing we're gonna look for is default slot, and just connect this into here. This will just make it so that we can reference and play animation montages. Just click compile. Then we're gonna head over to the event graph. And after here, we just want to look for cast to third person character. And just connect this a bit before. And we can right click, permit this to a variable, and I'll just call this third person ref. And I will just connect this into here and this into here. And we can click compile. And then what we're going to do is just drag in this third person ref. Then, if you remember in the third person reference, we made a variable to see if we were holding the player's character's body. So you just want to look for that variable. I called mine is carrying enemy body. So you just want to look for get is carrying enemy. And then you just want to create a new variable inside of here. I call this is carrying body. And just drag this in here and look for set. And connect this into here. So now we have to reference our third person character. Then we'll head back to the animation graph and go to the default slot, and inside where it says idle/run, we just want to look for our carry dead body and draw a pin connecting to it, and we want to draw a connect going from it. Then we'll head inside here and just drag in this speed. This will determine what speed we're moving at. Then we'll head back to default, and in order to enter this transition, we need to be carrying, get is carrying body, and if this is true, we'll enter this transition. And in order to leave this needs to not be true, so we'll just drag this in and drag off here and look for not boolean. So if this is not true, then we'll go back to our normal burn space, and then we'll just click compile. So now we set up the animations for our player character. We just need to set up the animations for our victim. So I'm just going to right click, create, look for animation, animation blueprint, and select the for mannequin. Go OK, and I'll just call this victim NMBP. We want to head inside here. And the first thing we'll do is send it to the event graph. So the first thing we're going to do is just right click and look for event, blueprint, begin play. I'm just going to right click and look for get player character. And from here we have to cast to the third person character. And the reason we want this is because we need to reference the third person character in order to get what speed they're moving at. So you just want to right click off here and promote the variable. And we're going to just leave that as the name. Then you want to drag in this bit, let's try get pawn owner, and from here you want to cast to whatever you called your enemy. So I called my enemy character, so I'll just head back, and then you want to go cast to enemy character, so it'll need to be whatever you called your enemy. So I'm going to right click and promote this to a variable, and then event blueprint update animation. What we're going to do is just drag in our third person character, drag off here and look for is valid, and connect this into here. And then we'll just drag off here and look for get velocity, and drag off here and look for vector length, and promote this to a variable and call this speed, and connect this into here. Then you just want to drag in this as enemy character, drag off here, and remember we made a variable called is this guy picked up. So you want to look for get is picked up, you just want to select that one. Then you want to create a new variable and call it is picked up question mark, and just drag off here and set it, and this will let us know if he's been picked up or not. And we can hit compile. Then we want to head back to the animation graph and just right click and look for new state machine, and drag off there and look for default slot and connect this into here. Then we want to head inside here, and then what I did in order to get an animation of this character starting down with his body laying down is I just closed this and I headed to the map, so the stealth finishes and knife map, and because this pack it didn't come with an animation of the character just lying down from the start, so I just created one. So to do that, I just select this one, go search, we'll be able to find this, and then you just want to duplicate this. So Control C and then Control V, and it will duplicate a copy of it. And then you just want to head inside. And what I did is just go to the start and then right click and click remove frames 29 to 141, and then you want to remove frames 1 to 29. And just rename this dead body or whatever appropriate name. We can head back to our mannequin animations, to the animation blueprint, and now I can look for the dead body animation and connect this into entry. And then you want to look for victim dead body, drag this in here and connect this in here and connect this in here. And we just want to head inside this victim dead body, drag in our speed variable and connect this into here, and then head inside here and check is it picked up and connect this into here, and this will let the game know if he's been picked up. We can head inside here, drag in is picked up, drag off here not boolean, and then connect this to here and click compile, and this will let us know if he's not picked up. And then the final step is we just need to go to blueprints, our enemy character, and make it so he has this animation blueprint. So I call this victim animation blueprint, and then click compile, close this. I can head over to my third person example map. So now if I click play and I go up to this character and I press 1, it'll start to pick him up. Oops, okay. I think that's happening because the camera is colliding with him. So if you just head back to your enemy character and you want to go to mesh and go to collision presets and select custom and just make it so it ignores the camera. And now I go back to compile and go play and press 1. It'll start to pick him up. Oops. Okay, let's just fix that. That's happening because of the animation montage. It's just blending out, so I'll show you how to fix that. We go to the edit enemy character and we want to just click the search button. It will take us to the animation montage. We then want to go to where it says blend option and we can see it says blend in. So you just change that to 0 and also change the blend out to be 0. Click save. And we'll also do that for the victim when we lay him down. So this one. So just change that to 0. And change this to 0 as well. Click save. Click play. Now if I go up to him, hopefully everything should work. I press 1. It starts to pick him up. I'm carrying my guy. I'm doing my animation and we can see he's doing his victim animation. Let's say I want to lay him down somewhere. I press 2. I'll start to lay him down, and now I can go back to running. So now that we've set this up, say your animation was not in the correct position or was a bit off, or you're using a different set of animations. If we go to the third person character, so just go edit third person character, and if you remember, we made these variables. So this basically determines how forward it is, and this determines how right or left it is. So say I made this value like 100, and I click play. If I go up to him and press 1, he's going to be a bit off, as you can see. So you may just need to adjust those values in order to get the position that you like. So that's what I had to do. So I found 0 and 90 here, and the forward vector work well. So that's basically how I set up this system inside of my game. I remember someone requested this, so I hope that was helpful for someone, and I'll also be trying to do some more requests. So please let me know in the comments or just message me on Discord if you have an idea for a video. And that's all. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.